Yeah, I think Elise is exactly right. Very powerful presentation from the president's lawyers this morning, and that was just a preview. We told you earlier this morning that the Democrats cited Mr. Sondland more than any other of their 17 witnesses. 492 times he was brought up in their presentation, but they failed to mention the things that Mr. Purpura brought up. All those times that Mr. Sondland said that he was presuming, he was assuming, and all the hearsay evidence that they had in their case. So I thought all of them did a great job. But Mr. Purpura, in outlining the fundamental facts, I thought was particularly effective and highlights just how strong a case this is for the President of the United States.
Before I got to Congress, I litigated high-profile constitutional law cases in federal courts around the country for almost 20 years, and I just want to say, in all that time, I have never seen a plaintiff's or a prosecution's case so completely destroyed by a defense opening argument as we saw today. One thing I thought that was very effective, in addition to the other things that have been said, is Mr. Philman explaining how the Constitution really matters and how all those subpoenas that we've heard so much about were not authorized, they were not valid at all, and that's why the White House resisted them exactly like previous administrations have. A lot of questions were answered today, but there's much more to come in the next 2 days, and we're looking forward to that.
So the word of the day that I've been hearing over the course of the last 10 or 15 minutes especially is eviscerate. That is what we just witnessed. And as we've been saying since the beginning of this process, Adam Schiff was aspiring to write the world's greatest parody. He was a fiction writer. He relying on presumptions and assumptions and lies and hearsay, sometimes using fourth-hand hearsay. He's trying to connect different dots. They're not actually connected. And what we saw today was just the opening statement. I mean, Monday and Tuesday, a lot more is going to be clearly laid out. So anyone with an open mind, unless you're just completely closed-minded to reality, you're also at home saying, wow, the President's Counsel just totally eviscerated Adam Schiff's impeachment fairy tale.
I think if you were to put this in a hashtag for Twitter, it would be hashtag why didn't Adam Schiff tell you? I mean, the fact of the matter is dozens of times in the opening 2 hours, we learned facts today from the President's defense team that were not covered in 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 days of testimony. And so why did Adam Schiff and his team not tell the American people what he knew? Because he knew it didn't support his case. And we've talked about how in the first 2 hours that we have annihilated 3 days of work by Adam Schiff and the House managers. But more importantly, it was a surgical dissection of exactly what the American people knew was the case. This was all about President Trump looking out for your best interest, for the American voters' best interest, and it is all about the Republican senators trusting the American voter instead of trusting Adam Schiff. Any questions?
Congressman Schiff, I saw you were listening on Senator Kaine saying that they made the case today for more witnesses and documents that the White House counsel did, and I saw you smiling back there and wanting to react. What is your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction to Senator Kaine, with respect, is I think you can see by the fact that most of the Democrat senators are running to their offices. They're trying to figure out how they're going to respond to the 2 hours that was just presented on the Senate floor. There's no one who is intellectually honest who can look at the last 2 hours and suggest that somehow the last 3 days were a complete really record of the facts. And everybody wants to talk about, no one wants to talk about the facts in defending this president. We just heard 2 hours of facts in defending the president, and the facts actually support his case.